I'm Caleb Giddings with Taurus USA, and we're out in the field with the Taurus expedition to talk about unsupported shooting positions. Now, when we say unsupported shooting position, what does that mean? Well, that means a position that does not have any artificial support provided either by yourself, such as a bipod, a bag, or the environment, like a tree branch, the ground, stuff like that. Today's unsupported shooting position is the least stable of the three that we cover in this series. It's standing unsupported. To get in a standing unsupported shooting position is very similar to every other shooting position that I would get into where I'm standing. If I'm fighting with a pistol, my feet are going to be slightly wider than shoulder width apart. My weight is going to be forward over my non-dominant foot, and my dominant foot is going to be slightly to the rear. However, when I add the recoil of a bolt-action rifle into that equation, I'm actually going to kick my dominant side leg back a little bit further to help me manage some of this recoil. Again, this is a fairly unstable shooting position, but that doesn't mean that you can't get good hits from it so long as you're using good technique. One of the other techniques that you can use to help manage recoil from this position is what's called push and pull. To explain push and pull in very simple terms, I want you to think when you have this gun like you're trying to stretch the gun. Think that the middle of the gun is made out of the same stuff they made Stretch Armstrong out of, and you're going to pull the forend away from you or push the forend away from you, I should say, and then pull the grip back into your shoulder. So this hand, my support hand, pushes, and this hand pulls the gun back into me. I'll show you the difference that push-pull can make by firing 2 rounds. The first, I won't be push-pulling on the gun. I'll just be using my body's structure to hold the gun in place. And then the second, I'll be push-pulling. So here is no push-pull. And you can see that recoil moves me quite a bit. The gun is, if I'm looking in the scope, above the berm. I'm looking at the trees. It's just not on target anymore. But now, let's try push-pull. Not only does the gun not rise as high off target, it returns to the target without me having to force it back. If I'm not using that push-pull tension, I actually have to bring the gun back down manually, whereas when I'm push-pulling the gun, it dropped right back down onto the target, which means if I wanted to, I could get a relatively fast, for a bolt-action rifle, follow-up shot. That's the advantage of using a good stance and push-pull pressure when you're running a rifle from the unsupported standing position.